Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Ladera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. So, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently today. Normally, as you know, every Friday, I do a TGIF open line show. But tomorrow, for the greater part of the show, we have a sponsored segment that is going to be airing. So I've decided, so that we don't, not give you the opportunity to sound off as we normally do every Friday, I've decided to switch things around. And today is being treated as the open line show. Tomorrow, we will accommodate our sponsored guest. Okay, so today is the day where I want you guys to serve as my co-host, and let's get this conversation cracking. Would love to hear from you. And so first and foremost, let's throw out the information about how you can become a part of the show. The telephone numbers to call are 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, the WhatsApp line, 801-0271, 801-0271. And you can either call us or you can text us on that number. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages, also on our YouTube channels. You can check us out there. And of course, on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. You can download the Global 99.5 FM app and check us out there. We are on radio as well for our faithful radio audience, 99.5 on the FM dial here in New Providence, and a huge welcome to our audience all the way from Grand Bahama. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, now that you know how to get in on the conversation, let's get it. Let's go. We are talking about the week that was. And as my co-host, I want to hear from you guys because this is your opportunity to sound off and let me know what you think. And believe me when I tell you that this show is serving a purpose of a lot more than just you talking to hear yourself. I say that to say that I believe that people are listening from the highest to the lowest of our society. And so I think this is a great opportunity for you to get your views out there so that the policymakers and stakeholders and others involved in choosing the direction of our nation can actually hear directly from you. So I want you to see this as an opportunity to have your voices heard within reason. I have to always say that because some people believe that this is a free-for-all and you can just call the station and shoot off your mouth and say something libelous that can cause me and this station to end up in court or receiving some kind of reprimand from IRCA. Ain't gonna happen. So I might as well tell you right now, let's be respectful in what we say and do, because we will cut you off if you cross that line. Because while you have the privilege to hide behind a text or, say something without anybody being able to identify who you are, we have to take responsibility for what we allow to go on air. So I think it's always important to say that, because you know how our people go. Some of us feeling special. So we're not going to just, it's not a free for all where you just say whatever's on your mind and then cause us a problem. Okay? But once we get that straight, once you understand that, then we're good to go. This is an opportunity for you to sound off and let them know what is on your heart, what's on your mind, what's on your chest. This is an opportunity for you to get it off of your chest. Now, always, I try to be as prepared as possible, just in case you're all acting up and don't want to call in or don't want to send no message. I can't be sitting here, for 2 hours just talking here myself. So, so what I normally do is I go ahead and I pull some clips to get the conversation started. And so, boy, we have a lot to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, let's start with an obvious problem for the people of Andros, and by extension, the people on some of the islands as well, because it's now been revealed that we're going to have to help them carry the load. Unless you're living under a rock, you know that there was a major fire in a power plant in Andros, which knocked out the whole community without power. So here now is a clip on that fire and the fallout therefrom.
Imagine being left in darkness for hours in the sweltering summer heat. That's the reality today.
Okay, I'm not sure why this is not playing. Jason, you might want to play it from your end, please. See if it makes any difference from your end.
Well, Janaea, it looks like we're all going to have to share the generation load on the heels of that fire at the Bahamas Power and Light Limited plant over in North Andros. This news coming from the power company's CEO, Siobhan Cambridge, as that area supplies some 1,400 consumers.
We have shift assets from some of our other plants of similar size to be able to pull off what we're doing in the short term. But the intent is to replace those assets from where we're shifting them from. One or two of the islands that we're moving assets from will be running tight.
The blaze occurred around 3 a.m. at the Nicholstown power plant, destroying all power generation units.
That plant had 4 units that combined for about 4.3 megawatts. The peak load in North Andros at yesterday evening, which is this is the peak season now that we're in, was about 2 megawatts. So as you may be aware, when we build our plants, we build them with some factor of safety in there. We call it an N-2, whereby if we lose our 2 largest units, we're able to meet the load. So we anticipate probably as we build back, we'll have to go back with 4 to 5 megawatts in that area.
Cambridge was pressed on the longevity of the units at the plant.
The units, I think we did some initial checks, and they're early 2000 vintage units, which is relatively young in terms of generation assets. The typical lifespan of a generator is 25 to 30 years. As with all of our plants, we undergo maintenance in accordance with the manufacturer recommended maintenance schedules.
The company assets are insured according to the CEO, but how much will it cost the company?
It's pretty hard to tell at the moment because, of course, there are the assets that were lost, but there's also all of the contingency expenditures and stuff that would have had to take place in order to facilitate restoring the supplies, and that's a matter for the insurance side of the business.
Since the blaze, additional manpower has been deployed to the island.
For the consumer, it's going to almost be seamless within the next 24 hours because once the power is up, their level of enjoyment or access to power won't change. But in terms of us having a fully operational power station back up and running, I foresee that being a at least 12 to 18-month exercise.
Janaea Cambridge says he's thankful there were no injuries or lives lost. Live in studio, Laurentia Smith, back to you at the desk.
So that report aired originally on Eyewitness News. I actually wanted to play a report prior to that one that talked more about what actually happened with the fire. So, Jason, if you can go ahead and play that one, I'd appreciate it.
Imagine being left in darkness for hours in the sweltering summer heat. That's the reality tonight for many residents in North Andros. Some telling Eyewitness News that it was nearly impossible to get a good night's rest last night after a fire at Bahamas Power and Light's Nicholstown plant last evening.
Not good. It's extremely hot. Very hot. The night was very miserable and sweaty.
It was hot and it was restless.
Right now I am working off fumes. I am fighting sleep here on my job because I'm tired. Didn't get any sleep at all with the heat. And I mean, no breeze blowing, nothing. It is extremely hot. So I only could imagine, elderly persons and persons would have young babies. It's crazy.
They also spoke to the impact the outage is having on businesses in the area.
Yeah, it's going to affect the business companies a lot because only a few companies have generators here on the island. And, running those generators all day and all night is very costly in terms of fuel. So that's going to be a major impact for the companies here.
At first, we had a bit of a negative impact because we had an issue with our generator, but thankfully we got it fixed. It put a lot of pressure on us in a way because the gas over here, sometimes you have to wait for gas, and then you have other stations that out. So right now, we're currently the only station in our area with gas.
I'm trying my best to cope. I'm trying not to open up my freezers and fridge so that I can sustain the coolness within my fridge and freezers until I get some assistance. I'm trying to get a generator so that I can save my food products that I have in my freezers because I'm not sure how long it's going to be for.
And while this outage has been the longest in the area in months, residents tell us that blackouts have become more frequent recently.
Since I'd say May, it started dipping a bit, and then June was when we started experiencing it going out for a few hours. There was one day it went out for about 5 hours, and then you had people saying we were probably load sharing because that isn't usual here.
You were having power outages from the end part of May up until June, and this month here. So that should have been an indicator for them to really look into the situation and say, okay, well, these generators aren't doing their jobs anymore. And all of that stuff with load sharing, that's a lot of power and electricity running to supply a whole island off of one or two generators.
And with the All Andros and Berry Islands Regatta slated for this weekend, residents are also expressing concerns for vendors who planned for the festivities in advance.
That's being threatened in a major way because you have persons have already bought their foods and goods and stuff, to sell. And now within days away from the event happening and something like this is to come up, who's to say where the persons are storing their food, if they have generator, and all of this is what persons have to think about because now consumers have to be concerned if the meat is going to still be good that they're going to be serving, so it's a lot that you have to take in consideration with this power outage. It doesn't just affect, with us being heat, not having AC or fan, but when it comes to consumers with food, selling the food, and, that's a lot. And then, the persons who have the vendors, what are they going to do if the meat is spoiled? That means that's money they wasted.
And to add to that, North Andros MP Leonardo Lightbourne describes this situation as heartbreaking.
Something of this magnitude, without having power in North Andros, definitely will be dampening the economy in terms of residents have already geared up. Stuff have been placed on the boat. People have purchased their beverages, their food, and accommodations, and all the other things that comes with it. Power, and everybody, we look forward to these homecoming events to bring some economic gain. But at this point, it's heart wrenching. I know residents want to see this homecoming advance in any which form, but my concern and immediate attention is restoring power to the communities.
According to BPL officials, some 1,400 consumers reside in that area and remain without power. They expect that restoration could take place by midday tomorrow. Leah Cooper, Eyewitness News.
Okay, so clearly, this is a problem for the people of Andros, and by extension, the rest of us who are going to have to begin to share the load when we already got our own issues. And that's not to say that I don't think we should, but this is going to be a challenge for BPL. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, Mr. Malcolm.
Hi.
Okay. Sorry for the people in North Nicholas-Town, Andros. That's something that really didn't plan to that, whatever happened to burn down. That didn't plan like that, but seeing that they always say these generators old and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that these people would maintain these generators every year to know, well, if this one definitely can't fix no more, we can move this.
Now, caller, you live in the Bahamas, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long you been living here? How long you been living in the Bahamas? Because you talking like a tourist who just reached here this week. You know just how we go in this country when it comes to not maintaining things. We ain't known for maintenance. We don't do that.
Exactly. That's my point.
I know.
We wait until things happen, and then we start to complain, know. But I'm sorry it happened. My point for calling also, we celebrating 50 years independent.
Yes.
And you got the old people, 70, 80, 85, still out 6 o'clock in the morning, waiting outside the social service. I passed there around 7, Miss Malcolm. You should see the people. And you can tell me, they cannot put something together that those older folks cannot be out there 6 o'clock in the morning waiting for a $70 or $80 slip.
When you say put something together, what do you mean? What do you mean? Be more specific. When you say put something together, what do you mean? Be more specific.
Try to give them the card. What Melanie Griffin introduced, the card, they are not getting the card. So because they're not getting the card, they have to go there and get a write-up. They have to write them up on a slip and
So
give
you're
it to
saying
them.
a card that they could say go to the food store and use the
Yes,
card like a debit
yes.
card. Okay, okay.
The
Mhm.
card is in process now, but
Right.
it seems like every time the people card expired, they got to wait 1 year, 2 years to get back this card back again.
Hmm.
We need people in places who know what they are doing in government. Don't just put me there because I friend with you, and this is causing all of these problems inside this country. Because why? Some people do not have the knowledge what they're doing
Hmm.
inside the government system. And when you look at those older folks from Fox Hill, Robertson Road, the Pitt Road, I mean, it's disgrace, and we celebrating 50 years. My other point, Mr. Sayers should put his head in shame to see the wonder hole, the pothole in these roads, even Exuma going to the airport. If you see how bad that road look going to the airport in Exuma, my God, I wonder if they live in here, or if they watching the same news what we be watching. The Prime Minister need to make some hard decision, because why? Things are going down south, and I don't know why he don't make some decision. Either call Mr. Sayers in and let him know this gotta straighten up, because there's no way you could have this selling 50 years independent and you can't ride on a straight road.
You know what I don't understand, caller? I mean, yeah, maintenance is not our strong point, right? But I honestly believe that we need to revisit our practice of who we use to maintain our roads or pave the roads or whatever. A big part of the problem that we have in this country, I always say follow the money. See who making the most money. When every time we fix the road, we got to dig them up again. Follow that trail, because somebody is benefiting from all of that inefficiency. Trust me on that. So our problem goes so much deeper than just a problem with deteriorating infrastructure. Our problem, I dare say, goes as far as who is benefiting from the inefficiency of having to fix potholes every couple of minutes, or every time the rain come down, and we've been getting a lot of rain, you could expect the potholes to increase. They don't have these problems in the United States. Why?
No.
Because whoever is doing their roads do an incredible job to begin with. And secondly, nobody is receiving any kind of money from digging it up again, just to have to repave it and then dig it up again. So we need to follow the trail.
Yes.
I think that's a part of our problem. We want to keep patching and patching and patching and patching, which doesn't work, especially during the rainy season. But somebody benefiting from that. So I think, and that's just my opinion. I the same anyway. I can leave that one right there. But you're absolutely right.
My last point is the member parliament from North Africa. I think he, sometime I think he should leave whatever he's going to say Saturday. He should have just leave that alone, because he knows he has something hanging over his head now.
Yeah, but common sense ain't necessarily common, You would think that, like you said, because of these allegations that he's facing, whether they are true or not, I'm not saying that he should disappear and not have anything to say ever, but you gotta have common sense in terms of what you do say, when, where, etc. These fellas trying to I don't even know what to call it, because I think that's beyond ego. And I don't know if this be something in the air that they breathe or something in the Kool-Aid they drinking, what this make them all of a sudden can't think straight. Because common sense should tell you that that's not something that you should get up on a podium in a public space and say. And I don't understand why they can't seem to grasp this concept that there are such things that they're called smartphones that can record what you are saying and doing. It's like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know, somebody sprays up in the air and it affecting people's brains that they can't think straight. I know what's going on. But common sense don't seem to be common no more.
I was talking about you today and said you get one of the hardest shows.
Thank you.
So I told the person, I said, only one thing. I don't like Monday. I said, if she could open a line on Tuesday.
Why you don't like Monday?
I don't like Monday because with the Constitution, nothing still happening.
Yeah, but let me just say that you're in a minority, by the way, about not liking Monday's show, because we get a lot of positive feedback from that show. But if you don't know what's in your Constitution, I mean, you're just talking to hear ourselves. We got to know what's in the Constitution so we can know what our rights and responsibilities are, and so we can make some demands based on that supreme law of the land. Otherwise, we talking to ourselves. So you need to look at Mondays from a different approach. But anyhow, what you saying about Tuesday?
Okay then. So no, I just say Tuesday, but I know Wednesday. I like Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, it's all depends who you bringing on Thursday.
Right.
But Thursday, and Friday. But right now, you about number one now. So all you have to do is hold your horse and just keep on moving. Okay.
Well, just for the record, I don't consider myself competing with anybody else. My goal is just to provide a service. I believe that the fourth estate, the media, has to play a serious role in terms of keeping them honest, keeping them on their toes. This is what the media is supposed to do. When I went to university many moons ago and decided to study broadcast journalism, they made sure that we understood that this has to be more than just a job or career, but you have a solemn responsibility because you are the historians of the future. You are helping to tell the story for future generations to be able to see what actually took place in your country. So I consider myself to be a living historian. That's what every respectable journalist should see themselves as. And I think a part of the challenge is that we have a lot of young journalists nowadays who don't understand the gravity of that responsibility. So they'll go and they'll sit in a press conference, for instance, and they won't ask the tough questions. Whatever the person say, they can run with that. There are a handful out there who understand the responsibility, but many of them don't. And so as opposed to digging deeper, asking the tougher questions, not just accepting things because it's thrown at you and you just run and regurgitate what is said, the training that I received is you have a responsibility to your public. That's who you're working for. You ain't working for no government. You ain't working for no private agency. Your boss are the audience which you serve. It is your responsibility to provide them with information because you are giving, most people aren't going to open a history book to find out what went on in the past. So we should see ourselves as living breathing historians.
Yes.
And if we're not trying to keep them honest, who will? So that's all I'm trying to do here. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Okay? But I've been in this game long enough to know that this isn't a responsibility that should be taken lightly. I really just wish we would see many more younger journalists take on that same attitude. Stop just regurgitating what is presented before you. Think beyond what is, because listen, I got a job to do. The politicians got a job to do. Their job is to sell you their dream.
But I think what make your job more easy and wise, number one, because some of those other stations, the owners there, maybe you don't know who the owners there may be pulling for, and you have to be so careful whatever you say as the host. But now how you is, you're free. You are free now, even though sometimes some of us might try to get out of hand and you bring them back in line because you don't want to get sued.
No.
But because you are open up, you are free. You don't hog up the mic. You give people time to express themselves. And that's what people like. They like to express themselves. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks for calling. Let me just say, too, though, that there's a price for freedom. I've said it before, and I can keep saying it because you all need to understand that while I appreciate all the kind words and all the encouragement, it's very, very difficult to make it in this town if you are not, if you're not favored by certain entities, or if you're not, I'm trying to find a diplomatic way to say this. I've said it before. I cannot survive on love and adoration. Neither can Global 99.5 FM. So keep that in mind. If you really appreciate what we're doing, we need the backing. We need the financial support in order to be able to continue to do it. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, good afternoon, Michelle. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not good. Not good at all. Michelle, let me tell you why I'm not good at all.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me you have those of us all through this family of violence depending on the professor and you to clear things up with this Constitution, and somebody have a problem with Constitution Mondays? If I have a flight to catch, Michelle, I will cancel my flight until I listen to that show. We are depending on you. You are the flagship reporter dealing with this talk show, dealing with this masterclass, you and the doctor and your professor. We love y'all and we depending on y'all to keep doing what y'all doing. Do not let nobody discourage y'all from that. Please, we need to keep it up.
I know Professor would be happy to hear that too.
Well, I'm telling you the truth because I hear the passion in the professor and I hear the passion in you. Mm-hmm. And keep up the good work. Please do not give up on us. We need a masterclass Monday to continue. Otherwise, I don't know where we would be because plenty of us do not know. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, we got to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue with our TGIT. Thank God it's Thursday. Open line show. We're going to throw the numbers to call and hopefully hear from more of you as we discuss the week that was. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paint, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Good afternoon once again. Welcome back to this TGIT Open Line Show, where we talk about the week that was. In case you joined us late, the reason we're doing this today instead of tomorrow is because we have a paid segment on the show tomorrow that will take up most of the show, so at least half of the show. So in order not to cheat you guys of the opportunity to sound off, I decided to bring the open line to today, and then that will be able to accommodate our sponsored segment tomorrow, because like I keep telling y'all, we need sponsors. So if the only day that they could do it on a Friday is I can't diss them. I got to make accommodations for them and then try to adjust it so we don't cheat you guys of the opportunity to sound off. So that being said, here's how you can get in on the show. We are streaming live on Facebook. If you haven't already done so, please like and share the show on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. We're also streaming live on our YouTube channels. And speaking of channels, Cable Bahamas channel 974 is where you'll find us. And we're also available by radio, 99.5 on the FM dial here in New Providence. And a huge welcome to our Grand Bahama audience as well. And you can also download the Global 99.5 FM app and catch us there. The telephone numbers to call, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272. 3260272, the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-02 8010271. So let me read a couple of your comments, and then we will go back to the week that was. Okay, so in this comment, let's see how far back I need to go to find that. Where did it go? Somebody sent a message about, okay, here it is. So Lloyd says, the PLP grabs anyone off the streets to make up the number. It has nothing to do with the caliber and quality of the candidates no more. And that has been shown for the past 30 years plus. I was just going to ask you, who need the PLP to do that? Because not to be shady, right? Y'all remember that situation with that one particular member of parliament who was having a difficulty with numbers? I ain't gonna call no name and I ain't gonna take no blame. That was embarrassing, eh? You have to question so many administrations over the past 50 years. Now, let me put it this way. I must say, though, those early cabinets, when this nation was like in its embryonic stage, in the very young stages of nationhood, oh man, they were some heavy hitters. You had people, I mean, you know, Lyndon Pinning aside, obviously the father of the nation, but you had people like Paul Adley, A.D. Hanna. On the opposition side, you had your what's the man's name? Well, I can't remember the man's name. You had these opposition heavy hitters as well. These men brought such a high level of intellect to the office. They weren't joking. They used to walk into that House of Assembly, not with no written script. They debating from here. And the caliber and quality of those debates was second to none. Okay? We have so watered down what we call parliamentarians nowadays. Couldn't hold a stick to them fellas back in the day. I might as well tell you. You could stand and, you know, when they walk in there for a debate, that could be a debate. Now? So I say that to say this has been going on for a little while now. This has been going on for a little while. And it seems that with each class, it's watered down even more. I long for the day when we can go back to the caliber of those early cabinet ministers and parliamentarians who brought substance to the table, who had vision for what they wanted to see for this nation, who knew how to articulate, who didn't have a problem with verb and subject agreement, who could read numbers without stumbling. And it's just a reflection, I believe, of how we have dumbed down our society as a whole. We got a lot of self-reflection to do, particularly on this opportunity of our 50th anniversary of independence. Because in many ways, I believe we're going backwards. In many ways. I remember the level of education that we received, for instance, in the public school system, because I'd never been to a private school in my life, was so high. When I went off to university, I remember taking a class, English literature. And the challenge is, you know, that was my first taste of freedom. So for my first year, I was taking advantage of more of my freedom that I was going to class. Listen, but it just so happens that my English literature class, I don't know what made me, I don't know what possessed me to take a class at that time of the day. But my English literature class just happened to fall at the same time as General Hospital. General Hospital was the thing back then. Those of y'all old enough to remember the Luke and Laura storyline, oh, for God's sake. I made the mistake of scheduling the class for the same time General Hospital was on. And when I catch myself, I say, girl, why are you so stupid? Why you do that? So I made a deal with some girls who lived in the dorm where I was living. These white girls. I said, okay, let's make a deal. You go to class and come back and tell me everything what y'all discuss in class, everything what they say. I can watch the soap. And then I can tell you everything what happened in the soap. That was our deal. And I remember we had a midterm examination that we had to take for that particular class. Now, I only went to the first 2 or 3 classes when I realized, Michelle, you have a problem. Because I wasn't about to miss General Hospital. Thank God my mother alive to hear this, because she would say, all that money we would spend if you were to go to school, you talk about soap opera? But anyway, so that was the deal. So my professor didn't really know me because I wasn't going to class. And I remember we had to submit this paper, midterm paper. And, you know, the girls, the white girls lived up to their end of the deal. I lived up to my end of the deal. So they made sure I knew what was going on in class. I made sure I knew what was going on in the soap. And when it came time for that first midterm exam, my professor didn't know who I was because I had only been to a couple of her classes. So we sat the exam. I wrote my paper, submitted it. And she had a stipulation that you had to be in class to receive your grade, to receive your paper back. So when she was about to call me to give me my paper, she was like, she looked at the name, she looked up, she looked around, she said, Michelle Malcolm. Like, she didn't even know who Michelle Malcolm was. So I raised my hand. She said, come forward for your paper, please. I went to get my paper. I got an A. So she said to me, where did you go to high school? I said, well, I'm from the Bahamas. And I went to high school there. This is what that woman said to me. What are y'all doing in the Bahamas that we are not doing here in the United States? She said, that's one of the best papers I have ever had the opportunity to mark. I said, wow, thank you. Now, imagine if I was actually going to her class. I say all that to say, that was the quality of education that I received in this system. That I could go to the United States and the professor be like, mind blown. In a class I wasn't even attending. What's going on? How we get to the place now where D is our average? It's a serious thing. But this is where we are. We have dumbed down our society so much that we satisfied when our students are just barely passing. We got to do better, people, because I am old enough to remember a Bahamas where education was doing so much better than it is now. I remember that we were putting out the best of the best. Some of y'all too young to remember that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. So y'all think what we have now is the norm. It's not. I never been to a private school in my entire life. And yet I was running circles around those American children when I went off to university. And I'm not bragging. I just speak in facts. When I finally caught myself and realized that I went to college not to learn how to play pool, because that's all I pretty much did my first semester. I just was enjoying my freedom. And so my first semester, my grades were not as good as they ought to have been. My first year, really. And then the first semester of my second year, I decided to pledge my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. And that pledging experience was rough. And my grades plummeted during that semester. My mother was furious. And after we crossed over, and my soror said to me, you cannot be active because your grade point average for the semester was below this level. I say, well, blow me down. I gone through all of that to become a member of this sorority, and now I can't even be active because my grades for that semester had fallen so low. But it was a wake-up call for me. And at that moment, I decided, Michelle, get serious. Because this is an opportunity that you've been granted to go off to university. Don't squander this. And I buckled down. And I started making, without any real effort, Dean's List every semester. I made the Dean's List every single semester from that semester going on for the rest of my college career. Every semester, Dean's List. That goes to show you the level of education that we had in this country. So, we can do better. We have done better in the past. And if it means we have to revisit what we did in the past, then so be it. You can't just keep going down the same road, doing the same thing over and over again. If it ain't working, make it work because it's worked before. And I know that we have within us the capacity to make it work again. But the challenge is that I dare say some people in high places don't want it to work where you have the capacity to think and question and analyze. They don't want that. Because when you start doing that, that create a problem for them. They want you to be reliant and dependent on them. They don't want you to think beyond what's on the surface. They don't want you to analyze what's going on in this country. No, because that will then require them to step up their game and do what they have been elected to do. So as long as you stay ignorant, as long as you don't know what your rights are, they're happy. When they can throw you a little couple dollars to an election, and you happy with that, and you go vote for them because they give you a little $300 or a little $500, you ain't stopping to think that that $500 should be spread over the full course of the term. So in other words, if they are in office for 5 years, they just would have paid you $100 a year. A year. That's all your vote worth? That's all you worth? But you see, when you don't think, when you say, oh, $500, yeah, I can vote for you, I can vote for you. They tell you just what they think of you when they offer you that $500. And then for the next 5 years, you catching hell and complaining. Oh, these politicians, you put them there. You sell out. So who you complaining to? We as a collective are a big part of the very problem that we say we want fixed. We are enabling people to treat us like crap. So many of you who got so much to say about what's wrong in the society, I need you to examine what you do to help perpetrate that situation by voting for people just because that's who the party sent. When you know that person wasn't worth 5 cents. But you vote for them anyhow, because that's what your party said. And you's a party man, you's a party woman. And then will come complaining when things ain't going the way they ought to be going in the country. How many of y'all need to take responsibility for that? As the song say back in the day, things that make you go, So my job is to encourage us all to be brave, no pun intended, courageous, and do what is necessary to fix this nation. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, blessings, Michelle.
Mhm.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, put fire on them. I like that. Put fire on them. They're saying everything what you saying is the truth. Because when you look at how this country lay out and whatnot, it ain't getting by education, it ain't getting by the Constitution, it ain't getting by leaders, it ain't getting by somebody who can guide you, it ain't getting by trust, it ain't getting by nothing of the above. You understand? It's all personality.
Yeah.
So people ain't voting for the man with half the vision. They voting for the man with the party push. That's how I look at it.
Oh, that's
You
the
know
truth.
what I mean?
That's
So,
the truth.
you basically voting for an idea that a party put together, push them on you, and that's why you have what you have. Look at the man from Abaco. He's a disgrace. You understand what I'm trying to say? And he only speak what he feels. And that apology is garbage, because that's like the machine write that for him and spew that out. But he speak what he feels. And they so lost in time because they know. And what don't get me, you could tell they in reverse, because you have people today making statements when they know all type of technology around. That makes sense. Ain't nothing private no more. Nothing private.
That's why I say common sense ain't common.
That's why I agreeing with you. They to me, something wrong with the whole system. You understand what I'm trying to say? I, the young man, soon to be 30. I still listening to a man who the age of my mother. You think that's right? I asked my mother that. You know what I mean? I keep telling her, no matter what you say to them and this and that, I cannot like walk in her lane because she trying to get me to understand what they only doing is right. But when you fall back, you complaining to your son who ain't 30 yet. It makes no sense. That's leadership I can't follow. You whatever sweet talk you get or whoever you know, a country should not be run by, promises and people who you know. I can't live off Oscar Pinland dream that he set forth. He's not here. The vision got to move forward. You get what I'm trying to say? And that's why we stuck all mind. And I don't want nobody get this twisted. I say you can't bring something to the table. But I'm just trying to say, how you could say you have love. Let me use the Prime Minister for an example. How you could say you have love for an island you've been to. And I challenge anybody to go to Cat Island and ask yourself, if you stepping into an island, what represent the year you win? Or the year you trying to get. Ask anybody. And I don't want to hear how you grew up. You get what I'm trying to say? You fooling the people. I don't want to hear when you don't have running water and you put potable water there and people cheering that on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you pave a road and then you go have a press conference, that's ridiculous. That to me, you still have the people under this stupidity. Yeah. I look at people who come into the island. Let's just take for an example the island they sell, or who they let the port cross the port. If you could help me with the shipping people who get the island from Atlantis, am I right? Okay. You're trying to tell me
not get the island from Atlantis, because Atlantis is opposing them being on the same island as them. But go ahead.
Okay,
you're talking about RCL, right?
Yeah, right. So thanks for correcting me. But I'm just trying to say, do people understand how the port the port goes with both? And I challenge anybody to look into them. You could say you register 1 million people coming into the island. Or say, oh, this would come, because they have to give you a list for how much. It's just like the airplane, right? But you don't gain nothing off it, because the food, the port only stop here because of fees. They ducking fees. They giving people something to do. So now if you cut off the island and you say, okay, I'm only giving a certain amount of people a job. And I keep saying this to my people, listen to the bottom line. Because those who ruling you is not of here, it's not of you, and it's not the same color. Even just look at it. And when they give these people that and say, oh, they're creating jobs. So we have 500,000 people in here. And out of 500,000 people, you give 11 people jobs. I supposed to celebrate. Oh, 11 people, that don't make no sense. When the government can carve out things for themselves, but you have no thinkers. You bring in thinkers from outside, and they coming inside your country and then turning around and robbing you. And you coming to me smiling and saying, look what I done for you. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't want nobody rob me and then turn around and you representing the robbery and then standing in the front of the camera and saying, look what I know. Because in my lifetime, when am I going to get your ferry to go to that island? Think about it. The average man, when is he going to get your ferry? So who is that benefiting? Who's the benefiting of that? You get what I'm trying to say? I hear you. I agree with everything you say. I like the licks. Every lick you throw down, you 100% right on that. And I can leave. When I talk to my mom and my...
Okay, Carla, we lost you there. Not sure what happened. Let me just say this, though. I hear what you're saying about, talking to your mother, etc. Pinling played a very necessary role. Some referred to him as the Moses of our nation, because the Bahamas, which he took over, was not very kind to people of color. Okay? And the system that he met in place was skewed to benefit only a handful of people. He and his colleagues, and thank you, somebody who put in the messages on Facebook, Cecil Wallace Whitfield is the name I was trying to remember earlier. He and his colleagues focused on laying the foundation for our nation. Many of the social services and educating the masses and etc. did not exist for people of color back then. NIB and all of these systems that were put in place did not exist before him. He had a very important role to play in laying the foundation for this nation, and I will always grant him the respect he and his colleagues that they deserve. I will never disrespect them to say, oh, they ain't doing nothing for the country. Anybody who says that is either ignorant or disingenuous. That being said, if you read the story of the Bible, Moses took the children of Israel so far, but it required a Joshua to take them across into the promised land. And while Pinling and his colleagues did a tremendous work in helping to establish the foundation for this nation, our challenge is identifying the Joshua to take us into the promised land. Because remember now, Moses didn't actually cross over. The Lord allowed him to see it from a distance, but he never entered. It required a Joshua. And our challenge in this day is identifying that Joshua. Because people are so compromised at entering things for the wrong reason, even though they may talk a good game. But when you find out what's going on behind closed doors, you shudder and say, oh my God, I ain't calling no name and I ain't taking no blame. Our challenge is identifying that Joshua. For the record, I don't knock anybody with age, because I think that ageism is a part of our problem in this country, where you get to a certain age and people just want to dismiss you, like you have no contribution to make. I take offense to that, because today is the 6th in 10 days, I'll be 60 years old, 60 in 10 days. So I take offense nowadays when people say, oh, y'all old people, ain't nobody want to hear from you. Excuse me? Excuse me? I still have a contribution to make, and ain't nobody can dismiss me because I've been blessed. God willing, I will make it to July 16th to see 60 years on this earth. That's a blessing. And I say to people all the time, being young is not an accomplishment. Because some of these young people just act like, oh, I young. So you act like that's an accomplishment. It's a process, buddy. Like my mother used to say, child, your time will come, when I used to be teasing her. Right? So being young people, it's not an accomplishment. It's a process. It's, imagine yourself on a train. Different people come on the train at different points. Different people leave the train at different points. We all on this ride together. I just been on the ride a little longer than some of y'all, but that don't mean that my brain stopped working because I achieve a certain age. The devil is a lie and the truth is not in him. That being said, I believe that we must work together because there's some technologies that are coming on stream now that young people especially seem to have a grip of that the older generation does not so much. We need both. We need both. All right? So before you throw that experience out the door and say, I don't have no use for you, think again. Think again. You need both. All right. Break time. Then we come back. We're going to continue with this TGIT open line show where we talk about the week that was. And yeah, I pulled a couple clips, from this week. I pulled a clip about the COI protesting and Iram Lewis joining the ranks with the COI and the protests. I pulled something with regard to Kirk Cornish. Yeah, I pulled plenty of things. Let's see where we go, though, on the other side of this break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklite, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of Fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. The telephone numbers to call. Thursday afternoon, the telephone numbers to call. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. And you can either call us or message us on that number. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also check us out on our YouTube channels. And you can check us out on Cable Bahamas channel 974 or download the Global 99.5 app to your smart device and check us out there. The telephone numbers to call 3260271. 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, WhatsApp 8010271, 8010271 for calls and texts. And a huge welcome to our radio audiences from here in New Providence and Grand Bahama. So, in case you're joining us late, usually on a Thursday, I will do another, type of show with a guest, but I decided to make this the open line show today because we have a sponsored segment that will take up at least half of the show tomorrow. We're going to be talking to representatives from Atlantis about some of the things that they have going on over there. And so this is why I decided to move the open line show to today. All right, so let me read a couple of your comments from Facebook. Charles says, youth is wasted on the young. Who you telling? Listen, man. I remember, I used to party back in the day, right? And I remember we would be in the club. We dancing. And then some people would walk in the club who probably, in hindsight, probably was no older than 35, 40. And we would look at them and say, what are these old people coming here for? Oh, boy. Yeah. Now, so people, I showing you, I know but y'all. Leotha says, wow, you look at these 42. I going for 35, Leotha. I going for 35. Dale says, you look fabulous. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. God is good. And Stanley says, we know for sure now PLP and FNM ain't no Joshua. Child, we got to find Joshua and find him fast. Leotha says, I listen to you daily. I especially love Mondays learning from the professor about the Constitution of the Bahamas. Blessings always. Amen. Those constitutional classes are extremely necessary. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Michelle.
Uh-huh.
How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Boy, them partying days. And
man, look here.
The best days.
That was the time, eh?
Oh, boy. And the thing about it, Michelle, I was telling my daughter, boy, you could hike right in anybody and go to the backside disco.
Nobody looking to hurt you. And now I feel for these people.
They were the best days. They're not coming back. But anyhow, you said you're going to be 60 on the 16th?
Yes, ma'am. Now, I want y'all to go run again and spend no money buying that number now. If you buy it in full, you'll be nowhere to find me. I want some of that.
I don't buy number. I'm 63 and I don't buy number.
Neither do I.
Michelle, could you remember the first independence?
Yes, vividly.
I could remember the first
that
independence.
That was just a couple of days before my 10th birthday.
Okay, I remember Priscilla Rollins singing Independence Morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that big Ponciana tree, man. I leave my family home and I walk out there because I live in the Farrington Road area. I tell them they'll have to meet me under the Ponciana tree because they was too late and I was wanting to rush out there to see what's happening.
Right.
But that, man, Michelle, look at when that Union Jack flag came down and that Bahamian flag hoisted. I don't know where the tears come from, but that was a solemn time.
It was.
And I can't figure Bahamian people in my age bracket don't remember that.
I remember it vividly. I was 9 years old, about to be 10 in a couple of days. And I remember I didn't fully understand what it meant at the age of 9, but I do remember my mother and my aunts weeping. The whole family was out there on Clifford Park. And as that Union Jack was lowered, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. And
yes, man, and that's what I say. I mean, the state this Bahamas is in now is nowhere to what we were in 73.
We had a greater pride in who we were as a people. You know, Bahamians were a proud set of people. We didn't have as much as you know, in terms of
and you're helping Michelle these same time. You don't even know who's your neighbor who lives next door to you.
Well,
and then you didn't know your neighbor. Everybody going on. You're going. You remember the drive-in theater?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So if we could get back to the 70s and 80s, I think this Bahamas will be better off. I think we get too modernized and we ain't checking for no one anymore. A lot of people saying they don't feel this independence, but my God, that must be the ones who under 60. That's all I can say.
I mean, you know, Bahamas has a lot of work to do. We're not a perfect nation. But all things considered, I think we do have a lot to celebrate in this country. And I'm old enough to remember.
Yeah, plenty to celebrate. God bring us. We came from a long way.
Yeah, we have. We got a long way to go. We have a long way to go.
We have
in many ways lost our way.
I have to pay away for my grandchildren.
Yeah.
I want to see my grandchildren have the life I had back in the 70s and the 80s. Because right now, you can't get tried with nobody right now. You know?
Yeah.
But anyhow, we got to keep praying. We got to pray. You need to look for Joshua. Joshua must be born yet.
Boy, that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought. Because if he ain't born yet, we're in real trouble. Huh?
He'll come in the next 50 years.
No, man, don't say that. We need him.
I tell you.
Oh, Lord.
I'm seeing you now. Anyhow, happy independence.
Same to you.
Okay, enjoy it.
Thank you. You too. Bahamians, let me tell you all. I remember that night vividly. Vividly, like it just happened last week. I remember my mother and my aunts weeping. And they were playing this solemn music. And I remember when the Union Jack was being slowly lowered, and we heard God Save the Queen for the last time. And then as the new Bahamas flag went up, and we heard our national anthem, that was a solemn moment. And it was a lot of, you know, we didn't know what the future would hold. Everybody put their trust into this young fella named Lyndon Pinling and those that he gathered around him to help to build this nation. There was a lot of uncertainty. Some didn't want to see it happen. Some thought that they were going to destroy the nation. Some left the Bahamas. Some threatened his life. There was a lot of uncertainty. But we made the decision to go on our own and build a nation that we could all call our home and be proud of, and not be second and third and fourth class citizens in our own country. And I dare say that they did quite a lot to try to create a middle class. Unfortunately, 50 years later, you got the same small handful of people who continue to have a stranglehold on the nation as far as the economic emancipation. Unfortunately, that is yet to happen. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Lady Malcolm.
Hello.
Yes, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Listen, I must say, when couple callers back or texter, I saw you live streaming because I went out today and I saw you live streaming. And you look way younger than your ZNS days.
Oh, no. Don't, you're pushing it now. You're pushing it, but thanks.
Lady Malcolm, you look strong. You could see the healthiness in your face. You know what I mean? Okay, but make me feel bad. Good thing you can't see me. But listen, the experience that you gave to go into college, yes, that was Bahamians back in the day. We went off and we excelled. I had a similar experience with the United States Air Force when I was finished with St. John's College. I think it was 81. I went on a vacation with my mother and my stepdad to the United States. Well, I was American born anyway, but and we just stepped into a recruiter's office. And I say, let me take this exam for the Air Force. And I sat the exam. She gave me the exam, called me back a few days later and told me I passed. I passed with 150 or something. I was 250 or something. And I decided to go in. And when I got to San Antonio, Texas, the training instructor of all the fellas in my flight, we had about 50-something fellas in the flight, mostly Americans. He said to me one day, and to all of us, he said, Johnson, he said, where you say you from? I said, I'm from the Bahamas. He said, you sure you didn't grow up around here? And I said, no. I said, just came straight over, did exams and whatnot. He said, you have people that have taken that exam 5-6 times, Americans, and can't pass that one shot like what I did. He said that to all of them other fellas who were there with me. So that was back in the day. Now, the march yesterday, a couple of days ago, the lady just told you she ain't see Joshua. Well, I must see clothes. You understand? Because sometimes Joshua don't take on the look or the shape that you may want him or her to have. But Joshua is here. Joshua is the one that is speaking up and standing up for the Bahamians. But we keep rejecting. See, people like us, the prophet is never accepted in his hometown. I went to the march. I have a cast all the way up to my groin. I was in a wheelchair. You know why I went, Lady Malcolm? I went not because COI, not because FNM, not because PLC. I went as a nationalist. I went to help to save this nation. But the same grandchildren she talking about 50 years, not even 50, 20 years, if she don't stand up with people like me and the rest of us, them grandchildren ain't gonna have no nation to be in. And it's time, like Hiram Lewis did, I was proud of him. And we had a sizable crowd. We had over 100 and something people. Should have been more, but it's time we stand up. I ain't see Jeff. I ain't see Sparky. I ain't see this one. I ain't see none of them. But it's been crowding these shows all day, standing up for this country. Thanks for taking my call, Lady Malcolm.
Thanks for calling. I know my producer's saying we need to go to break, but I want to go ahead and play first, Jason, the clip with regard to the COI protest that he's referring to. Just for those of you who aren't aware, the Coalition of Independents went to the office of the Prime Minister to protest, asking for the resignation of Minister of Immigration Keith Bell over the issuance of our citizenship at a funeral. Here now is that clip. Jason, go ahead and play the one that says COI protests against Bell, please.
Members of the Coalition of Independents hoping to deliver a letter to the Prime Minister today, but their access was denied by police as they continue to call for the resignation of Immigration Minister Keith Bell and only giving him 7 days to do so.
And if they don't do what's right in those 7 days, we are going to sue on behalf of the Bahamian people, on behalf of the staff at the Office of Immigration, right away.
This comes after Bell, in a quote, unorthodox move, granted citizenship to a mother and her 2 minor children at their father's funeral 2 weeks ago, which has prompted outrage from not only the members of the Coalition of Independents, but also the Free National Movement.
The person doing the swearing-in said, turn the cameras off, turn the phones off. This is an unorthodox. So if everything was above board, why would you want it to be done in secret? Let everybody do it. Let's do it publicly. So obviously that tells me that something was wrong. As has been called for by others, I'm also calling for the resignation because I don't believe what was done the right way.
Led by Lincoln Bain, members of the coalition hand-delivered a letter to the permanent secretary in the office of the Prime Minister, Cresswell Stirrup, detailing a number of alleged irregular acts carried out by Minister Bell. This in addition to a plea for a deeper probe into Bell's citizenship grant.
Was the relevant application form submitted? Were the necessary supporting documents provided? Was the processing fees paid? Was the recipient interviewed? Did the recipient pass the citizenship exam? Was a summary prepared for the cabinet? Is there a cabinet conclusion?
Tonight, Bain is calling for a united front to deal with the country's ongoing immigration crisis.
Lincoln Bain and the COI is not against any ethnic group of people. We are not against Haitians. All we are saying is do it the right way. I call on all members of parliament, all political leaders, and all members of any political party to put your colors aside and realize that your country is in trouble. This land is our land. We do not hate anyone because we want to protect the integrity of our land.
Eyewitness News reaching out to officials who offered no response to the protest at this time.
All right, so you saw there, Iram Lewis decided to join the COI at that protest, and we do actually have a clip of that as well, but we have to take a commercial break. So let's take this break, and then on the other side, let's talk about what this all means. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the Mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Welcome back to this TGIT open line show on GPS. Michelle Malcolm here. Here's how you can get involved. The telephone numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. And you can actually call or text us on that line. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and the Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also check us out on our YouTube channels. And speaking of channel, 974 is the number on Cable Bahamas if you choose to watch us there. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app and check us out there. The numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. WhatsApp 8010271, 8010271. And of course, welcome to all of you listening by way of radio, both here in New Providence and in Grand Bahama. So we saw where Iram Lewis decided to go and stand alongside Lincoln Bain and his team for that protest calling for the resignation of Bell. Now, keep in mind that Pintard and the Free National Movement have also been calling for his resignation, but they didn't come out to support that particular protest. Now, before everybody jump all over the bandwagon and say, Iram Lewis, decided to put his politics aside and join with the COI, that's certainly what it appears to be on the surface. But y'all know I always encourage y'all to look beyond the surface, right? What is going on within the FNM that prompted Iram to make the decision that he made to protest with the COI? Because I dare say that this is a lot more than just his conviction that's involved here. Let's go ahead and play that clip, and then let's talk about it.
Opposition member Iram Lewis joining coalition of independence leader Lincoln Bain, party supporters and residents outside the office of the Prime Minister on Tuesday to call for the resignation of Immigration Minister Keith Bell. But did he have the FNM's backing to do so?
The FNM is fine. We are not the ones with people standing up in church services making stupid statements.
That's Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands making it clear that party officials have seemingly not taken exception to Lewis joining protesters yesterday. His assertion comes as local reports suggest that Lewis's actions raised eyebrows in the FNM, while others argue that his decision was ill-advised.
There's very much a side issue to the big issue that a sitting cabinet minister has taken advantage of his office, sought to denigrate the solemnity of giving the most sacred privilege that anybody can have in this country. And yet here we are having a conversation about, something entirely different.
Yesterday, Lewis explained why he was at the protest to reporters.
The people are upset over certain things that happened. And therefore, I am here standing with the people to show them that they put me in a position to be a voice for them. And I'm speaking on their behalf.
And in a social media video released earlier today, he's defending his decision.
It is not about self. It is not about party. It is about people. I stood on behalf of the Bahamian people to voice their concern. I did it then, and I'll do it again.
The uproar comes days after Bell granted a woman and her 2 children Bahamian citizenship at a funeral service. While officials say Bell did not break the law, Sands is expressing concern that the immigration minister is not being held accountable.
This is about an inappropriate use of process and probably a violation of the law. This is about a cabinet that has doubled down to support a rogue minister with nothing more than a slap on the wrist.
Now today, Prime Minister Philip Davis has yet to publicly speak to Bell's actions, but OPM Deputy Press Secretary Keishla Adderley recently told reporters that Davis and Bell have met with an understanding that a swearing-in ceremony of that kind would not happen again.
Okay, so everybody knows that there's little tension within the Free National Movement, especially between the leader of the opposition, Mr. Michael Pintard, and the former leader, former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Minnis, who, by all indication, is making a comeback, trying to make a comeback. And right now, persons within that party, particularly those who sit in Parliament, are sort of aligning themselves with either of those 2 leaders. There's this internal battle going on right now within the Free National Movement. I ain't talking no secret. We all know what's going on. Let's just be honest now. We all know. And so, again, I'm not saying that what he did was not a good thing or not a courageous thing to do. I'm talking about Iram specifically. But I can't help but wonder how much of that decision was influenced by the person that he has decided to support in this battle for control of the Free National Movement, and by extension, this battle to determine who will lead that party into the next election. Because I don't care what you tell me, there's a battle going on. And I ain't going no further than that, but just to say that, things aren't always as they seem. And that we should know by now that politics makes for strange bedfellows. And sometimes people make decisions based on what is not happening above on the surface. Y'all are GPS listeners, so I know y'all figure out what I'm trying to say, right? Y'all are smart people because y'all is listening to this show. If y'all wasn't listening to the show, I had a question whether or not y'all understand what I'm trying to say. But y'all smart. If you're a GPS listener, you smart. I ain't gonna spell out no further than that. Political chess moves. Who doing what to try to shore up support for the battle that's about to ensue for control over that party. Things that make you go, I could touch that no foot. I could leave that one right there. So Sandra Carey says, Hiram Lewis stood up for what he believed was wrong with what's going on in our country. I'm so proud of him putting it on the line, okay? And Charles says, Dwayne can't talk when he breached the laws also while a sitting cabinet minister. Frank says, no one cares about what's going on behind closed doors of the FNM and the FNM. The PLP is the government that's given this country away, okay? D'Amico says, respect, bro. Frank says, everyone's missing the big picture what Lincoln was assembled for. D'Amico says, that's what all MPs supposed to do, but put the interests of the people before party. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. But history has shown us that that is not always the case. And all I'm saying is that maybe we should think beyond what we see and question. Don't be afraid to question things. Okay? That could keep you alive when you don't just accept what people trying to shove down your throat because it's the popular thing to do. Don't be afraid to question. Okay, so what is this person's motive? Why are they doing this? And sometimes it's for the goodness of their heart, for their conviction. Okay, I accept that. And then sometimes there's some other things at play. So all I'm encouraging you today is to figure out which one it is. And I can leave that right there. All right. Speaking of drinking tainted Kool-Aid or breathing in some kind of substance in the air, I can just play this clip outright and then we can talk about this one, Mr. Cornish.
That means on Abaco, Kirk is the Prime Minister. The only authority other than Kirk leads this island is Brave Philip Edwin Davis. So get used to it.
That's North Abaco Member of Parliament Kirk Cornish delivering remarks at an independence banquet at Faith Walks Church of God in Cooperstown, Abaco this past Saturday. Cornish was being honored for his accomplishments and contributions along with other Abaco natives in time for the country's 50th independence.
Not because I refuse to go around and exert my powers, taking advantage of people, dismissing them from jobs, being rude and disrespectful means I don't have the authority. I just have a presence of God in me that says, Daddy, what I want from you. I didn't put you here to do that.
Well, Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands, disturbed by the MP's comments in response, echoed the words of the late U.S. President Abraham Lincoln in saying it's better to remain silent and thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt.
Kirk Cornish, in his own words, made it clear that he was the Prime Minister in Abaco and that he made the rules. He's all-powerful and clearly dictates to all governmental officers and officials. Now, inquiring minds want to know that if his powers extend to the police and to the courts. The truth is, sir, that you are out of line. The truth is, sir, that you are a fool. So it's time for you to sit small. You have given us insight into just the kind of person you really are. So you have the power to fire, notwithstanding the threat. Show us the authority in the law.
Dr. Sands labels the North Abaco MP as an arrogant, bigoted disgrace and calls for his resignation.
Abraham Lincoln was correct. It's cheaper that you kept your mouth shut. Now let's see if the DPM and the PM are going to run to your rescue like they did to Bell, because you too need to go.
During his remarks, Cornish called on all Bahamians to build each other up rather than tearing each other down, touching briefly on his own personal experience.
And over the years, I have learned to brush much off my shoulders. Jackie can tell you, keep moving. But as a people, we are just, so ungrateful to God for what we have. And I didn't mean to dampen your evening this evening. But God placed it on me to remind us that the same son and daughter he destroyed, he calls son and daughter. The same forgiveness and mercy you asked for, he actually give it. So as we celebrate our 50th, let us be mindful of each other. Let us recognize that there's no point in building this big, beautiful Bahamas if we destroy each other.
Cornish's comments come as allegations of sexual assault against an alleged ex-girlfriend swirl on social media and make headlines across the country. Cornish was brought in for questioning back in April and released a short time later. To this day, he has not been formally charged.
I process it in my head what I should say, what I want to say. You know, this administration is talking about getting ready to push forward what is necessary to legalize medicinal marijuana. I honestly just wonder sometimes if some people get their hands on the stash before the legalization and just be smoking little weed, which just prompt them to say and do stupid things. A word to the wise for all of you who have decided to put yourself forward for public service. Think before you speak. Think before you say what you want to say. Because, you know, once it come out your mouth, whether or not it was your intent for it to come out the way it did or not, you know your political opponents could be all over that like white on rice. So your speech might take a little bit longer to deliver, especially if you're speaking off the cuff, which clearly some of y'all shouldn't be doing. But if you're speaking off the cuff, if you ain't following no script, I highly recommend that you slow your speech down a little bit and think before you open your mouth as to whether or not what you say can and will be used against you, because it will be used against you. I honestly wonder if some of them smoking weed, like you can't fathom the idea that what you put out there in this day and age with the technology that exists now, you can't just easily pull it back. Because some of y'all doing some stupid things. I mean, anyhow, let me hear from y'all. What y'all think about this? Boy. And honestly, Sandra says, all of them under Brave Davis showing Brave Davis up. They showing that they are rogue and have no respect for Brave Davis. That's exactly what he means. He's the prime minister. Let's see. Frank says, you think they arrogant now? Wait until this party gets complete control of these carbon credits money. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Wow, Mr. Malcolm.
Hey.
I'm going to take you back to Aram Lewis. The question was put before him yesterday by the host. Would you support Dr. Menace today if election was called? And he replied, say, we have one leader, that's Mr. Pentad. Okay.
He ain't answer the question then.
No, he answered, he said we have one leader, that's Mr. Pentad. So the host went on and said, now don't forget, it was you who Dr. Menace nominated twice.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm asking you, if election was called, would you support Dr. Minnis? So you say, well, I ain't come to that conclusion yet because he ain't asked me yet. So the host say, okay, well, you have it in mind. You have something in intention then. So you have something in intention. If Dr. Minnis comes and asks you that means you will support him. He answered that. Because if for you, I don't care how much you say that I support this one or the next one, I stick in with who I believe is my leader.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. I can double down and start. I don't want to pause and think about that. So something is not right someplace. You see? But we shall watch and see what we will see in time to come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling. Don't. You all open your eyes and see what's going on, yeah? Politics makes for strange bedfellows. Open your eyes. Don't allow these people, and when I say these people, I'm talking about all of them, to swing you all yet again. Open your eyes and see what is going on. We have to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to wrap things up. Stay with us. This is GPS on a TGIT open line. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added Gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
99.5.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this TGIT Open Line Show. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, good day, Miss Malcolm. How you doing, Papa? Yeah.
Hey, Papa, what you saying?
Hey, Rink, what are we doing it today?
Yeah, because I explained earlier in the show that I have a paid sponsorship segment that's going to take more than half the show tomorrow, so I decided to do it today.
So that'll be a recording or that'll be live?
It's going to be live.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good news. People was talking about you on the Mother radio station this week.
What they saying?
They're saying how they could use your expertise and they gonna allow you to work along with them. Say, well, you're not just one of the best anchors we ever had in the country, but you also is a producer.
Who was saying this? Clinton
Darrell Miller.
Ah, okay. Well, you know, the
in the world, what they going to do with you?
Let me clarify that. The owner of this station knows, but they have reached out to me to ask me to help to produce the Bahamas games behind the scenes. So I'm not going to be on air, but I am helping to produce the Bahamas games for them. Yeah.
He say we only know you as an anchor, but he say you good in producing and production.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that they said that on the air. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they do that the other day.
Okay.
I'll bring it up. Talking, ask what about you, and then coincidentally you brought up a name. Some things we going to do, but the tape right there, Miss Malcolm, I just wish the show could go on. I know you always saying that we like the show. Everybody meeting in the shop, telling you how good the show is, but you need money to keep the show on the air. These people in the radio station can't keep you on the air like that for free. You know, so I know, and you get bills to pay, so I know. But I want you to know I don't call in every day, but we sure enjoy hearing your voice. Because you don't do this thing like this just a job. You do this thing like it's with a passion. You understand? Like you really can sense. So that's what I like about you. My little daughter, she 8. She could be 9 in November.
Mm-hmm.
She remind me of you when she talking sometime. She remind me of you. I can't say you remind me of her because I know of you long time, but I spend more time around her. What I wanted to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
You say you want these people to be and what we think and all of that, and if they be on something or what. Listen, I always ask the question, me and my good friend Bannister, late Levon Bannister, we need to take drug tests of these politicians. See, you know, just effing them or PLP, anything coming over. Yeah, see, that's the first thing. It sounds jokey, right? It sounds joking, it sounds like a joke, and we gotta laugh, right? She'll cry, right? But see, marijuana is a joke, smoking a joint is a joke. Yeah, some people are tripping and do some wild things. Man, these people gotta be on crack cocaine. I always ask the question, I wonder, just how when people go to get jobs and stuff like that, and they take drug tests, lie detector, man, these politicians, they be getting away with murder. They come here. See, and some people say power does do something to them. No. Power is helping to show their true colors. If the PLP is my New Day government who we put in power for 2 years now.
Well, I need you to wrap it up because I got less than a minute left.
If the PLP was in opposition right now, they'd have been carrying on by with the Cornish man that's over there and Keith Bell what they had to say. It's just that the PLP showing me now that they care less what we say. It doesn't matter. They in power. They can do what they want to. That's why you could always hear, like Dr. Sands say, Brave Davis or the Deputy Prime Minister come right there and rescue Keith Bell or Cornish over there when they do wrong. 2 wrongs don't make a right. That's why if you want to deal with Keith Bell and you want to deal with Cornish, then you got to deal with Brave. And you know what I mean. And y'all keep up the good work, man.
All right, Papa. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for calling. Guys, my time is gone. It's almost 4 o'clock. I got to get out of here. It's 4 o'clock. My time is 2 to 4. So thank you so much for tuning in on this special TGIT show. Tomorrow, for the first half of the show, we're going to be talking to executives from Atlantis. They have some initiatives that they want to talk about. That will be a sponsored segment. And then for the second half of the show, we probably treat that as open line as well. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.